Hello and welcome back, Squirrel Nation. I hope you're all having an outstanding day. Today's video is kind of more a podcast type of format. It's it's about an hour and a half, so you can definitely listen and get value out of it, but if you want, you can definitely listen and watch, and some of the things will make more sense. Anyways, what it is a coaching session between me and Massacre. He is a King 1 player on Asia, and he is one of our Squirrel Nation members. So anyways, I hope you all enjoy this content. If you do, please like to let me know, comment, same thing. And anyways, let's dive in.
And actually, maybe you can talk me through your thought process, and then that's another thing. Like, is this your standard opening out of that screen? What are you seeing? Why'd you pick God of War?
Yeah, I sort of flicked between the people I was up against just to see what they were going, and that's why I went that way.
Okay. Here, okay, for synergy. So you'll notice, so one note is the reason you see me always positioned in the corner is on average you get better engagements. There's obviously always times, but if you position in the middle, the problem is you can get flanked very heavily. Like everybody onto your God of War. So that's just a little thing. Like this, like if you would do the corner position you normally see me using, it will just on average give you better engages. Also, why did you pick up the Source and not the Shining Archer?
So the reason I picked up the Source was because obviously I had two pairs there, the Source and the Shining Archer, but then that Magic Crystal fell down. And then I sort of went Magic Crystal, two Sources, and it sort of, and with the God of War there, it sort of made me think, it was a good. I was sort of leaning towards mages.
Okay.
And it was purely, I wasn't going to do it until that crystal fell down, and that's why I did it at that very last second.
Okay, cool. That makes sense. And then, what is your general mage opening? Like, I'll keep playing here. You obviously hit a Thunder Spirit, so that's nice. But what? So, in your mind right now, what comp are you going for?
At this stage, I'm still open. I can go either way with it.
Okay.
Just depending on what I'm offered. But normally, like, my ideal mage opening would be a couple of goblins, tanky goblins. Like, I would never normally pick up those 2-star units this early, and I don't normally sort of go towards mages like this. Like, normally I pick up, the Thunder and the Source a little bit later on. I never pick up the Source this early, actually.
Yeah, I was about to say, and then also, so, okay, there's one mistake for sure, is you could have just had 3 mages synergy on the board, right? And the Tusker is not doing anything. So you don't have 3 warrior, right? So yeah, that's just a slight misplay on that. And then yeah, for the Source, I mean, yeah, that's a hard thing. A 2-star early, so in this case, it is a gamble because your economy. But yeah, I feel you on that. I don't think that's really like anything super terrible. But me generally, I don't like to pick up early Sources unless I already have my carry mages. And there you go, Shining, nice. Okay, now you do switch in the synergy. Okay, so tell me your choice. Explain your thought process for whether to level here or not level here.
I don't think I level, and the reason why I didn't level was because I was losing. And I didn't think that leveling I don't think I would have been able to add any more strength to the board.
Okay. Yep, good. I will say, though, you could have added another frontliner. But overall, yeah, I agree with your thought process on that too, though.
Like the other God of War.
Yeah. So he's a really good meat shield, so you could throw that in. But and this is why I bring this up. Normally, I would 100% agree with what you're doing. The problem is, if you're going to go mages, you really need to be concerned about your health because you need time to power spike. So one thing I see a lot of mages do wrong is they end up losing way too much health early game. Like I had that game today on stream, remember? And I even knew it was going to be rough because I was losing too much early health. And then you don't really want to go into mages because, yeah. So that would be my argument of why you would want to level here. Because if you are going to target a mage comp, I would say generally you want to level on curve to level 5. So, yeah. Cool.
Yeah, cool. And like ideally, I would want a couple more meat shields in front of me as well. But I just, at the time, I was hoping for like a swordman or just something a bit tankier.
Yeah. And that's another thing. Like um, you don't need multiple tanks when you're running mages either, because you're trying to kill them with your burst. So that's just another thing. Like you don't necessarily need another tank. Also, Thunder Spirit right now is your tankiest unit. Funny enough. So yeah. And then so here you ended up leveling. So if you're gonna level
And
here, you definitely should have leveled last round.
okay,
Like
gotcha.
the only reason
And the
not to
reason
level
and
last
the
round is to econ, but now you just gave up your econ anyways. So now you lost extra health last round, and you did an econ. So that becomes a you're going against your playstyle. Like you chose a greedy playstyle, and then you you just mitigated all the benefit you got from it the next round.
Yeah, and I see what you're saying there because I ended up not getting above the 10 gold. But I think the reasoning why I did that at that stage was because that second Spirit.
Yeah.
I just thought that was a better unit to have on the field, and that's what made me do it. This what I've been offered here is interesting, and I think this is a misplay. I sort of feel like I should have picked up the Agali Knight.
Oh, interesting. No, I would just grab Soul. If I was you, I'd just grab Soul Reaper here. I was wondering what you thought the miss. I thought you were going to say you didn't grab the Reaper and you grabbed the Argali Knight.
No, I actually pass up on everything on this screen. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so well, here's a misplay then. So it's different than what you think it is. So let's talk about that. So the reason I asked you earlier what type of build you're going for, and you're saying you're letting the game tell you, is letting the game tell you is fine, but you should still always be having those meta builds in your head, right? And right now, if you look at your board, there's a very obvious meta build that your team is exactly following. And what is that build?
Divinity Mage.
Divinity Mage, right? So
Yeah.
what's in Divinity Mage out of this screen? Or actually, can you tell me the full 8-man Divinity Mage? Just the standard
Ooh,
one. I know you can always you can always make differences. I'm not saying don't make differences, but it still benefits you to have kind of a rough construct in your mind. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah. So in my head, God of War, the Source, Thunder Spirit. Is it Shining Dragon? I can't remember the name.
yeah, Shining Dragon.
Basically, what
Yeah.
I've got on the field there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I'll normally throw in a Lord of Sand or a Siren.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just missing 2 units there. I'm just missing 2 units.
So it's one of the other main synergies people mix in, and it is I'll give you a hint. Soul Reaper is part of it.
Oh yeah, so Warlock. Yeah.
Yes, so Warlock. And normally you're going to get there with, and this is the older, but I still think is the best Divinity, is Soul Reaper with Desperate Doctor. Okay?
Oh yeah, see, I normally throw a Wind Ranger into my Divinity comp as well.
Okay, so, and this is a great point for some, definitely here's where you could up your game a little bit, is for you, like from that sentence and from the fact that you didn't grab it here, I can tell like you're very set on builds, right? Like you probably don't have as much flexibility as you may think you have in your building order, because all builds you have the archetype and then you have different ways you can branch off of it, right? So like the way I think about it is in terms of like groups, right? So for instance, in Divinity, I normally want 3 mages, right? You have your 3 mages, so that part you're good. And then in Divinity, another thing a lot of people introduce is Warlock, right? For that sustain. And then you think about what Warlocks you can add in. You can add in a Desperate Doctor. You can add in a Shadow Devil. You could add in a Poisonous Worm. You can add in Soul Reaper, right? So the list goes on and on. And then like you're saying, oh, well, I'm used to Wind Ranger, right? But because you're like focused on, oh, I'm going to save a spot for Wind Ranger, then you're passing a very beneficial unit. Also, you're talking about a round 8 epic, and it's an epic that fits into your team comp. Like this would have majorly power spiked your team. Does that make sense? And a Desperate Doctor is very easy for you to get from here on.
Yeah, no. And with that said, like I did think about buying it, but I just passed on it in the end. But the main reason I passed on it was because I didn't have that Divinity build in my head.
Mm-hmm.
I think at this stage, I think I was I mean, now looking at the board and with the way you've explained it to me, yeah, I probably should have gone Divinity with this. But because I think I've got 4 mages, I've got that 4th mage on the bench. I think I was leaning towards the six mages.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But no, I totally agree with what you're saying.
And yeah, the point you're bringing up, and honestly, the only reason I'm harping on this is not necessarily for you, but it's the other people watching is, and that's the difference in the flexibility, right? So even once you decide your synergy, so you're a mage, you're going to run a mage game, right? So that I think we can all agree on. So for you, I think the next step that's maybe going to get you right into the higher kings, maybe even into queen, is even once you choose your synergy, have all the different branches in your head, right? So like you're saying, oh, chaos, I'm thinking about going dragon mages, right? Like that's the archetype that's in my head. But for you, I would encourage you to think about it more like I'm running with mages. What are different directions I can go mages? Okay, I can go mages with divinity. I can go mages with dragons. I can go right. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just so when I know which build I'm going, that I actually have a couple of branches. It's not just, that one set path that can sort of break off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the last note I will make on this is this early when you hit a 4-cost unit, so we're only round 8 right now, is you should be looking for ways to integrate any 4-cost you get, right? Like if you get a Dragon Knight here, look for ways to build that in. If you got a Berserker here, look for ways to build it. Does that make sense? Like, because 4-costs are so valuable this early in the game, right? Those are when you look at the tab and you're like, oh my god, this person already hit XYZ,
Yeah, gotcha. And see, one of the things that I guess, and my play style still very much, and I think I'm doing it this game, is guided by the early 2 stars I get.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much. I'm not so much. I've never really looked at it as, hey, there's a 4-cost unit, and seeing how I can build that into a comp.
Yep, gotcha. So in that case, maybe for the rest of this, I'll start playing again. For this video, maybe I'll try to point out. We'll see how that goes, because maybe I can point out the things that you're not in your normal thinking. So.
Oh yeah, and like mages are not something that I main. It is something that I don't feel like I do very well with.
Okay, got you. And why did you position to the middle?
I think I was just trying out a different position.
Okay.
I didn't scout or anything. I just thought
yeah.
that grouping. I was thinking more of, actually, I think what I was thinking is the Thunder Mages, Thunder Spirits are going to hit more people with their ults.
Yeah, and that's what I was looking for. So you are right in that if you take the center, your Thunder Spirits on average will get more value. The thing that scared me was you didn't scout. So like there could be 3 assassin teams right now and you just literally position yourself to get wrecked by assassins. So that, yeah, you hit the point. So anyways, okay. And now, yeah, you're like wishy-washy back and forth, it seems. Here, your Shining Dragon's not going to get a good ult, though. That is another thing to consider.
I did this for creep round.
Okay, for creep round. Yeah, that's fine. And repositioning, it's okay. Yeah. Normally, I say don't, and this is being nitpicky, but don't reposition unless you need to. Like, your team was going to beat the creep round either way. So now, and you can save yourself that little extra bit of time to think about other things, that type of stuff. Okay, nice. You grab the Flame Whiz. Okay. Take out a Thunder Spirit. Okay. Switching sides. Okay.
Should the Shining Dragon be a bit more to the left?
Okay, so your positioning, if the person's same side as you, you're going to get warriors that literally just jump straight onto your Flame Wizard and Thunder Spirit, which is very not ideal. Like, say this other team was flip-flop, right? So they were same side as you instead of cross positions, you would be just inviting them to attack. If you keep your God of War in the 3rd column, he will catch all the frontline people. That's why normally you keep him on the 3rd column.
So I would bring the God of War back one then.
Not back.
And sort of,
so that's
in effect, bring.
Okay, sorry. Row is horizontal, column vertical. So 3rd vertical line.
Yeah.
So
okay. In front of the Thunder Spirit then.
Yep. Exactly. And then this would be okay. But that's probably the main thing about this that would be rough. And once again, you haven't scouted for assassins. If there's assassins right now, they're absolutely going to destroy your team. So like, I can tell you're kind of experimenting with the formation I use. But one thing to really point out is I try to always be scouting for assassins when I use this formation, because yeah, if there's assassins, you're going to get wrecked. So, and I'm not talking about just 6 assassins. Like, I'm also talking about feather assassins. So anybody who has assassins, because they're just going to dive straight onto your squishies.
Yeah, gotcha.
Cool. Okay. And
Yeah, cool.
but in this case, your formation works against the diagonal, which is good.
Would you have used any of the magic crystals yet?
Flame Wizard, I would put a magic crystal on. So Flame Wizard, when she
So,
ults, it speeds up her attack speed, and then she actually has a pretty high damage attack. A lot of damage comes from her attack speed, and it works twice. So you want her to ult twice quickly, and then she's attacking really fast. And another thing that's good about her early game, especially because you have, well, you don't have Divinity now because you left the source in. By the way, I would have switched source out for the dragon. That's another minor thing you could do. But if you mana crystal a Flame Wizard in Divinity, she's just going to be popping off on people, especially this early.
Yeah, and I think it still really shows. I did not have Divinity in my mind at this stage still.
Yeah.
And like now that I'm looking at that, yeah.
Yep. So I think we've identified your major thing, or your focal point. What I would recommend you to focus on, I think we've definitely identified. So that's good. I mean, honestly, for me, normally, if you're doing any type of coaching, if you can identify one thing the person can really work on, that is already job well done. But let's carry on. And we're going to keep focusing on the branching. So that's what I'll be pointing out. So anyways, you could have dropped source. You could put in your winter, and then your divinity will be active, and your fire mage will be popping off. I'm assuming you're saving the mana for your Tortola Elder, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you saw that I've almost got a refresher orb.
Yeah. Yep. And so holding items just comes, and this is just a note. This isn't like a right or wrong thing, but it comes down to it's a greed play, right? And by the way, notice you moved over your God of War, so good job. you modified your position. Well done. Yeah. So it just comes down to how your health is doing. And obviously you hit the Tortola here, so it doesn't end up mattering. But if you didn't, then it would matter. Oh, and okay, so interesting choices happening. Okay, let's see how you end position and go. So you're leveling because you want to get in your full synergy, correct?
Yep. I basically want to. I sort of figured here I wanted to stop the bleeding, and try and maintain some health.
Okay, yeah, and then so you can get that in. You have your formation set up. So yeah, that and this call I do like, and this kind of goes to where it mitigates what I was just saying, but about the items is so like not using the items greedy. You waited. Fortunately, you hit a Tortola Elder, and now you're going to be using the items. Plus, you use your economy to get to level 7, and now you should start win streaking. So that's good. But let's say you went and hit the Tortola Elder, then that's where you might need to start considering items, just because you can't, if you're going mages and you're going to be looking for a Tortola Elder. And also, I think if we look, I don't think your economy is way ahead. I haven't been looking. Let me peek at the economies. So yeah, actually you're in last place in health, and your economy is way behind everybody. Do you get what I'm saying? So like you were not in a good spot to be greedy. Is what I'm saying by that clear?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
but leveling up there, was that the right decision?
Yes, what
not?
you just did probably saved you the game.
Yeah, all it is if I hadn't hit the Elder, I wouldn't have leveled.
Yeah, and that's what I was about to say. Like you told me before we watched this game that you think you were lucky to win, and I'll tell you without a shadow of a doubt, you were lucky to win. Like you were lucky here because the choices you were making before this were very hard on you. And actually, let's go back even, because I want to be very clear about this with everybody. So here's the last round. Actually, let's see right when you lose. Okay, so you lose. You're now down to, oh man, it's hard to pause exactly on that moment. Okay, so let's talk about here before you hit anything, right? If you notice, you're only at 31 gold. So the majority of the lobby is all ahead of you.
37.
Yeah, the person above you is 37. Here's my rule of thumb.
Oh, yep, 31.
If anybody above you is ahead of you in gold, that is, you are in a hard spot, right? And so, like, in this case, it's only actually 2 teams that are ahead of you, right? Significantly ahead of you. Well, one person significantly ahead and one person ahead, right? So your economy is not an advantage, moral of the story. But then if you look at health, right, the majority of the lobby is 20 health ahead of you. So that's where, like, let's say you didn't hit this Tortola Elder, right? Then, and you're not using items, and you're losing by like 10 health per round. That's where the issue becomes. And mages, you can ride, like you said, you start to panic under 50. But in this game, you easily could have got down into 20 health before you even got your 6th mage, right? Is that clear?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm explaining this poorly. So one thing I want to mention is the reason I'm saying that you got so lucky. Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. That even though I hit that elder, I could have held out on leveling and just built my economy a bit more because I still had enough health to ride it out.
Oh, no.
No,
This is in the assumption that you didn't hit the elder. As soon as you hit the elder, you made the right choice. But my thing is, like, you got so lucky to. Okay, what is your probability of hitting an epic at level 5? Do you know?
Not without clicking on it. No.
7% chance.
Yeah.
Right. You hit.
Oh yeah. I know that was. I know that was lucky. Like when that came up. Yeah, I had the biggest smile on my face.
Yeah, and so this is where coaching when a game goes your way is kind of harder because, like, I'm having to coach you about something that didn't happen. That's why, in general, yeah, it's easier to coach games where things go poorly. But I still want to point this out to you because you can't count on hitting a 7% chance, and that 7% chance is to hit any forecast, let alone you hit exactly the forecast you want. You literally had like probably 0.6% chance for that to happen. So out of 100 games, right, that happens maybe one.
And like that's why I sort of liked that I had this mage video, because like I don't feel like I can do a mage team without actually getting lucky. But with what you pointed out before, if I'd gone Divinity, I feel like it would have made a much bigger difference.
Yeah, so if you would have went Divinity, and then also, yeah, just from leveling point of views, I guess, yeah, if you're losing as heavily as you're losing, you have to economy. Like, you must economy if you're losing that heavy, right? Like, it's okay if you're not going full economy if you're losing by, like, 2 heroes, 3 heroes. But if you're losing by 5 heroes, like, you must have a good economy, right? Like, that's the only reason you should be losing that bad. But, okay, anyways, so you hit your Elder here. And the reason the play I'm saying saved you the game is you went from very weak synergy to basically one of the strongest synergies in the game, plus you have the mana crystals onto the person you want, right? So you leveling here was spot on the right play, because from here on, I won't be surprised if you can win streak to the end of the game, okay? So now we're done talking about theoretically if you didn't hit it. We're back to you hit it, let the right choices. So we'll see what choices you make, but this was absolutely the right choice at this point. Positioning, this is bad positioning. At this point, there's no need for you to have a forward position. You should drop. Your formation should be focused on the attack range of the units that you have in. And right now, the safest hero on your team is a 2-star source. Do you think that a source should be your safest unit?
No.
So, okay, now what do you think your formation should look like right now?
Maybe push the source behind the flame wizard.
Okay, and then?
See, this is where I get stuck with mages, because positioning is definitely not something I do well with them.
Okay.
I don't know if it was bring the shining dragon in front of the elder.
Yep, that's good.
And I'm guessing was it and the God of War is in the right spot now. Is it the winter? Should I have moved that dragon?
It is your flame and your thunder spirit. So what team comps do you lose to? That should be, okay. You should always be positioning so that you don't lose to your weak comps, right? And what do you think your weak comp would be?
Like assassins. If they get behind me,
Yeah,
I'll be
like
in
something
trouble.
like that, right? And see, your comp is like just opening up a assassin buffet on your on 1-star squishies, right? So that's why in this case I would have wanted you to collapse your formation. Also, your shining dragon where it is, it's going to jump into the front line. So if the say the enemy, like these people keep positioning in the middle, but if they were against the side right now, that Hell Knight, your shining dragon probably would have jumped in front of the Hell Knight and just got focused down almost instantly. So what I would do is I would switch the shining and the winner, right? So the winner is against the side. Move the source behind the flame wizard. Move the shining where the source is. Move the thunder spirit where the flame wizard is, and then put the flame wizard right next to the Tortola elder. Another thing to
Yeah.
consider when your formations, and for mages this matters, is their attack range. Okay, elder, Tortola, flame, and the winner all have 4 attack range, right? So, and shining and thunder spirit have 3 attack range, and then your God of War has 1 attack range. So generally you want to layer your attack ranges. So your 4 costs are all in the back, your 3 costs are in the middle, and your 1 costs are your frontline tanks. Does that make sense?
Yep.
And then you put and the reason you have a 4 cost winner in the front is because now he attacks the enemy's front line and he locks everybody into position. That's what will hold your team in the corner instead of them jumping out everywhere and like face checking the enemy front line.
Yeah. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's probably one of the reasons why I'm sort of like that, because I guess I was trying to stop my units from moving around.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, if the Shining Dragon is jumping out, then my positioning still wouldn't have achieved that.
Also, if the enemy was in the opposite corner instead of in the middle of the map like they are, your Thunder Spirit is going to face check them for sure. So I don't know. We might I'll play through. We might see it. But anyways, you already see how the flank comes onto the Thunder Spirit. A lot of people will get on him if they're adjacent to you. If you have him right next to your God of War like that. But anyways, you hit the stuff, so that's good. You put all the mana onto the Tortola Elder, so that's fine. And same thing, scouting. You have a lot of time where you could scout, and just kind of see what people are doing. So okay, and here we go. So you are repositioning, so that's good. And even this is better, right? This is that is still better. This is better than what you had. And you do scout. Okay, actually, wait. Sorry, I want to see. We didn't look. Okay, so walk me through scouting. Now you have unlimited time. What are you looking at, and what are you thinking?
So I was just sort of seeing if there was any. I was trying to look at, if anyone had marine synergy. The reason I was looking was I wanted to see if anyone had marine synergy, and that's who I was going to position for, because there's still 8 people in the game, and I just thought, optimal positioning would be for the person who's going to be the strongest against me.
Okay, start from the top, and then you tell me if the team beats you or if they're a long-term threat. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So the very top player,
Yes.
The hunter, potential, and long term, definitely could have been a problem for me. The beast knight, I guess they look like they were going knights. And if they went to, I
That
don't
looks
know,
like
like if
going
they
knights. Dun dun dun. Okay, but anyways, keep going. Keep going.
Yep. And look, I think the main reason I was actually looking anyway was just to see the sort of quality on the board.
Oh, sorry.
As well.
For right now, I don't like. I'm not asking you what you were doing. This is.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm asking you
Who
what you
beats
should
me?
be. Look, I want to know what you should. I'm trying. Okay, I'm being too not direct about this. I want you to look at this and tell me what information you should be taking away. I don't care what you were doing at the time.
Okay. Well, when I'm looking at it today, what I should be looking, well, it's still in my head, it's what I was looking at before. Who is going to be who's going to be my main opponent? Like who long term could be trouble for me.
Yep. Okay, so
Uh, looking at everyone else's economy, seeing where people are at,
okay, just go
and
one by
just
one.
having a look at the synergies.
I feel like
Mm.
it's going to be too sloppy. Just go one by one. Tell me the first person. Just their threat. You said they're a threat. Second team, threat or not a threat?
Not a threat, not at this stage.
Okay,
No.
why?
Just because they don't have much quality. It's just a bunch of 1 stars. They haven't hit yet, and we're round 14. They don't look like much of a threat to me.
They have one way bigger issue. That is just immediately they're not a threat. So keep in mind you're already into one of the strongest synergies in the entire game with mana crystals. Okay, so like we already know that that's the case. Now, if you look at the second team, I agree with you. They don't have quality, but the number one reason they're no threat is their economy is gone. They have 0. They have 6 gold.
Yeah, I
Do
see
you
that
think
now.
that person's
Yeah.
ever going to reroll to the point that they can challenge you, knowing you already have 6 mage and knowing you already have multiple mana crystals?
No, they've got no chance. They're out.
Okay, cool. Okay, now on to team 3.
Yeah, no economy, but they've got a bit of They've got some quality. Some 2 stars. And they're running a mage synergy actually, and that's yeah. I'll pass on that. But look, they're going mages as well, so they're contesting my units, but they don't have any economy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so other than contesting me, and I'm already ahead because I've got all the units I need. I don't think they're much of a threat. They're not like a hard counter. I've hit my mages, they haven't. So not much of a threat to me.
And also, even if they built out, right, they're doing that whole goblin mage stuff, right? The comp that people always come and ask about. Who's going to win? A goblin mage or a 6 mage?
Well, I think 6 mage
Right?
most of the time.
And so, like you said, so in this is where let's just share our different views. You said is they have some quality, and I agree with you. They have some quality in that they have 2 stars. But when I look at that, I say they have a hell of a transition in front of them, because when they transition, they need to be selling 4 of their 2 stars. Because those goblins, if they take them into late game, they stand 0 chance against you, right? So their only other option, if they want to compete with you, is to transition out of goblins, and then at that point, they're selling 4 of their starting 7 heroes. Make sense?
Yep.
So either, and then, like you said, they have no economy. So for them, it's just lose, lose, lose. Like they're absolutely in a terrible spot. Cool.
Yep.
Okay. Next one, 4th place.
Yep. Look, not much of a threat. Really, they're 2 stars, are low cost units. Other than the Soul Reaper, but not a hard counter. Not a hard counter to me at all.
Cool. What comp do you think they're going for?
Goblin Warlock. Maybe
Your favorite?
they could have put an extra. Yeah, they could have put an assassin in as well. Sometimes I like to do that. Goblin with assassin. Yep. That's what I see there.
Okay. Yep. So I agree with you on that. Okay. Next person. Next team. Elmer.
Yep, and it's just once again they're knights and it's a bit of a mixed bag there. Are they going? I think it might be a demon comp. It's a demon comp, I think. Yeah,
Yep.
it's just and look, I think I'd just really burst them down before they even really have much of a chance.
Yeah, demon has
but
no
he's got
chance against you.
Yeah, he's got a decent economy, but not a counter to me as well. Next person is knights again. So next person has knights, and look, they've got their 2-star Lightblade Knight and Hell Knight. Level 5 though, they're 2 levels behind. They've got economy. Like I said, knights can be problematic, but they would have to really scale up quite a bit. They would have to hit a few units to really sort of be dangerous for me.
Okay, and are they going to be able to? Why or why not?
Well, there's potential because they have the economy, but they haven't been leveling on the curve. So,
well, no. What do you think they're doing? You see me do. I literally did this today.
They're low rolling at level 5.
There you go.
Yeah, low rolling at level 5.
Low rolling. Yeah. So what do you need to do a thorough scout? So this team is actually one of the most scary. If I look at this, it's scary because 1, they're a counter comp, Glacier Knights, right? And 2 is their econ strategy is actually doing the smart thing. Like we actually don't know how good they are because you're not looking at their bench. that make sense?
Yeah, that's true.
Because like
Mm-hmm.
everything you're saying is, I mean, I semi agree with you, but also when we look at their bench and I tell you they have a 2-star Hell Knight and a Lightblade sitting there, so they're almost like they're approaching 3-star of both of those, right? That's going to change that team comp a lot.
Yeah, but
But
I don't think there's not much I can do about that with in this game really.
yeah,
It
so
just
okay, and that is where things become different. Okay, you have to, the higher you move up the ladder, you need to know what's going to end up happening to you. And this is why I say this, okay? Is you're going to play differently. If you can win streak for the rest of the game, you can play one way, right? But if you always know there's going to be one or two teams who you're never going to beat, and every time you match them you're going to lose your streak, and you know you can't win streak, then you're going to play a different way. Do you get what I'm saying?
yeah.
So
Yes, I do.
from here, if I look at these teams, and I'll tell you my giveaway for the fact that they are not as scary is the fact that they have Argali Knight. Argali Knight tells me that they don't have other knights on their bench, and they also aren't going to build optimal Glacier Knight build. Like they're not going to introduce a Soul Reaper. They're not going to, right? Like they're not going to do the things they need to really become scary to you. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Would be my
and you
guess.
know what? I wouldn't have picked up on that. The fact that they got the Igali Knights in means they probably don't have anything else on the bench.
Yeah.
Like not another 2-star Hell Knight or another 2-star Lightblade Knight.
Exactly. There you go. Yep. And having said that, let's go to the last place team, and then we'll give the final thoughts. So, what about last place? Are they a threat?
Yeah, they're running hunters. They've got an Absol guard. Their economy is not too bad. If I can't quite see their health, 50 health. Yeah, look, they got once again. They're just sort of like the top team, aren't they? There's potential.
Who wins?
But
Question. Who wins? Hunters or a
who
mage?
wins right now?
No, just who wins long term,
Well,
assuming everything's equal.
if everything's equal.
Yeah.
But what sort of hunters? Are we talking hunters with marine
Any.
synergy?
Yeah, sure.
Well, okay. I think I'm going to be wrong here, but I normally would bet on hunters.
You're wrong.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be the case, but I only say that
You have
because
a Tortola Elder who is has 1/2 mana crystals and is approaching a Orber Refreshing. Like you're gonna kill the hunters as soon as he ults.
See, whenever I play mages, I'm never confident.
Also,
I'm always scared that like one mistake is going to put me out.
yeah, and so here's the main thing out of this, and the final takeaways is the hunters. As long as you have a cross spawn, okay. If you let them spawn same side of the map as you, then you're right. Then the hunters stand a chance against you because the door sniper will start taking out your key units. But if you're cross spawns, you're gonna beat the hunter, like almost for sure. If you're equal synergies, or if you're equal like quality items, that type of stuff, right? And then, so anyways, so finishing our scouting is you have only 3 teams that are even remotely possible to contest you, okay? The first place, last place, and the knight player, okay? But from this scout, my takeaway is Massacre is probably going to win streak through the entire game. That would be my take. Right now, that's my prediction. And if you are going to be on a fat win streak, how careful do you have to be with your economy?
I sort of the way I do it is I sort of look at see how much I'm winning by, and if I'm winning by a lot, I'll be a little bit greedy. If I find myself not doing as well,
by greedy, do you mean you save money or you roll?
So if I start to lose, if I see that I'm not winning by much, I'll start rolling. I'll start spending my gold.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. So that should be fine in this game. However, if I was you, I would probably stay around 30 gold and keep re-rolling. Because I am being competed with by one player, and because my team does have such a high upside potential. Like, if you hit your Tortola, at this point, you've won the game. Like, and same thing if you hit a Dragon Knight, you've won, right? Also, you have multiple competition for your Dragon Knight also, which you really do want to hit, right? So, to me, I think you're in the spot where I wouldn't get too greedy over 30 gold. because you might end up in the case where you let people hit stuff because you're actually, this happened to you today on stream with a goblin game. That's
Yeah, it
that's
did.
exactly why you lost the goblin game. Is because you just got too greedy for economy. And that's the tempo that we're always talking about. So here we go. You fight the knight player, crushing him, unsurprisingly. But yeah, let's see what you do, because I think there's been times we said these things and then you did them. So there's your dragon synergy. Yep, you see it. That's good. You're deciding what should I do. Reposition for wolf pack. That's what. Okay. And you want your God of War against the corner, because right now, yeah, he's barely taking aggro, right? So
Yeah.
just copy the formation you see me use. Always have your biggest tank against the corner, because that is going to be the unit that gets the most attention from the wolves. But yeah, anyways, your team's already too strong anyways. Like level 7 on the wolves, you're not going to lose generally. Oh, interesting. Oh, this makes hard choices for you. Oh, you take it. What are you going to switch out? Okay, let's talk about that real quick. Okay, so you're at 6 mage synergy. What is the only unit on the board that you can replace?
God of War, without affecting my mage synergy.
So what do you plan to do with this Venom?
I actually don't remember what I do.
Not
I have a
okay.
funny
Remember,
feeling.
nothing for our conversations. I could care less what you do. I just your calm, rational thought, right? All of us make mistakes when we're in the moment, so I don't really care what you did in the moment. It's more, what should you have done? What should you do?
I actually, what I should do in this position?
Yeah, like what's the
If it
optimal?
was me playing it right
Yeah.
now, yeah, I know what's optimal. See, I really don't know. I'd just be guessing.
Yeah, so that's fine. Just guess. I mean, just guess.
Yeah.
Here's why
Um,
I know I'm making it hard on you, but this is why, is because if I know your thought process, then it's easier for me to kind of I don't know, adjust it.
well,
Does
my
that
thought process is I want to get that unit in because it makes me stronger. And when I'm looking at that, how can I get him in without taking anything off the board
mm-hmm.
by going to level 8?
Okay. So
So
you're
I guess
okay.
that's what I would be tempted to do. That's what
Okay.
I would do.
And then so right now you need to spend 30 gold, so your entire economy to level and put in the 2-star Venom. Yeah?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
But it makes me so much stronger, and and when I do beat people, I'm taking even more health off them.
Yep. So those are good arguments. And this is honestly this the arguments you're making are very fair arguments, and it becomes, we have to discuss on average, right? So after our scouting, I think what you're doing is fine. By doing, if you're going to level and put in this Venom, you're going to have no economy, but based on the scout we just had, that's okay, because you, like you said, you're going to crush everybody. You're going to have a fat win streak. Now, let's say you were playing some people who were building more optimally, and you weren't in a lobby full of people building suboptimal teams. Then you're giving up all your tempo to put in something that you're eventually going to sell, right? Like if you run dragon mages, and are you going to keep a Venom over a Dragon Knight?
No, I keep the Dragon Knight
Right?
and I keep the Shining Dragon.
Yeah. And then also you already have one hero that's not in your optimum build, which is your God of War. So now you're bringing in a second unit that's not your optimal unit. That unit also just cost you 9 gold. Is that why I'm saying 9 gold clear?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, because
So
I'm
and the reason I say all those is because, do you think you lose even if you don't put this in?
no, I don't think I lose.
Right?
If I left him on, yeah.
Yeah, so it comes to like what you were literally the one just selling me on this was, hey, Chaos, in this situation, I would be greedy because I've been dominating people, right? I'm winning by like 5, 6 heroes. I could be greedy with economy. So that's just kind of why I'm surprised that you ended up going this direction. I think on average, you're better off being greedy here. I would have preferred you to use that economy, use that gold to look for your Dragon Knight and look for your Tortola Elder, look for getting your Thunder Spirit to 2-star. You get what I'm saying? Like, you have so much upgrade potential in rerolling that I feel like giving up all your economy just to get a 2-star non-optimal unit on the board is not normally going to be the good play. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Like, so focus on getting the units that are core to my build leveled, essentially.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
would be the right play. But see, when would I roll for those? Like, I mean, I wouldn't roll now for them. Like, even if I hadn't brought that
Why?
Venom, you would have rolled down to 30 each
Yeah.
time.
If you didn't buy that Venom, you have 42 gold right now. Right? So you could have re-rolled
Yeah.
5 times easily. 5 times you hit a Thunder Spirit, right? Okay, well now your team's much stronger. Your Thunder Spirit's there, right? You know you're contested for Thunder Spirit, right? In that
Yeah.
5 rerolls,
So
you could have hit a Tortola Elder. You could have hit some more God of Wars and got him up to 3 stars. You could have hit your Shining, right? So it's like you have so many things that you need right now that yeah, I don't know how else to explain it. You just have a lot of opportunity to improve your team in other places, and other places that you're going to keep throughout the entirety of the game.
yeah.
And
See,
we'll play it out and we'll see what you do with the Venom.
yeah.
But you
We'll
can go
see.
ahead, whatever you're saying.
Yeah. No. See, and yeah. Well, I won't talk. I was going to talk about what I do in this game further ahead, but we'll leave it and let it play out.
Okay. So we go, and this positioning is good too. This is definitely better. I would move your yeah, winner. I would switch over a little bit more, but that's fine. Okay, and see, this match is getting close. And also notice you didn't level for Venom. So this is interesting in that you lost to a team that I don't think either of us expected you to lose to. I'm quite frankly surprised. 1, 2, 3, 4. It must have been position. We didn't look at their position. But anyway, so okay, so there you bought the Venom. You didn't even end up using the Venom, right? And say you would have re-rolled that, maybe you upgraded your Thunder Spirit and then you just didn't lose that round, right? So as an example. But it's interesting that you didn't level. And see, there's a Shining Dragon. And from here, okay, from here, what should you do now that you did lose your streak? And this,
What
I
I
would
should
say, is
do is
unarguable.
see, like I'm too scared to answer now. I don't know.
But there's no bad in answering wrong, right? Like, you want to answer wrong, honestly. Because you want to identify your misplays, right?
Yeah. So because I lost then, how low is my health? 50 health. I've still got plenty of health. Just I should have kept my economy. I feel like I should have just kept my.
Yeah, from here, economy, econ to 50, level to 8 at on curve, right? And then you're still fine. You know, it kind of sucks that you lost your streak, but yeah, you're perfectly fine position. From here, you should definitely economy up though. So our re-rolling has died, and yeah. Another thing you could have done is honestly you could have put in the Venom and taken out your God of War. So that is another thing you could do if this position ends up in the future again. And bam. Oh yeah, and by the way, see, that's why hunters have a hell of a time against a mage team.
Yeah.
Kamehameha. And notice, in your last 2 shops, you hit a God of War and a Shining, right? So imagine if you did that 5 rerolls. And this is that tempo-y part. Okay, you're holding those. I really hope you sell those if you win. Are you going to?
I think I'm not sure if I do it. I feel like it was in the back of my mind, but I'm not sure if I did it.
And this is where people try to get too sneaky, I feel like. And I do this too. Like, I don't know. That looks like the right play. It's like you're making that play so that people don't say like, "Wow, scrub, you missed a unicorn trick," right? Like that's why you're doing it. Let's be real. But realistically, also, how often do you end up screwing yourself because you're doing that?
If it ever affects interest, then I normally dump them.
Yeah, I know you think you do, but realistically, it's not what ends up happening. Like realistically, Okay, we'll see if it happens, and I'll say. Like you're putting 3 gold there so that you maybe can make 1 gold, and we're already at round 20, right? So like maybe you could have re-rolled extra, maybe you could have done something different. I don't know. It just, to me, it's just not worth it. Like unicorn trick round
So,
20s are like you're just asking to not have your focus where you need it. You get what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah, because I know what you're saying. Because sometimes you're concentrating what's happening on the board,
mm-hmm.
and you miss what you should be doing on your bench when you're
Yeah.
holding units like that.
Yep. Okay, there we go.
And I
And by
and
the
this is where
oh
I
yeah,
start.
go ahead.
I start rolling. I start rolling an 8 because now
Yeah.
I've got a chance of getting that last Divinity unit.
The last Divinity. Oh, God of Thunder.
God,
Oh my
God of
God, you're
Thunder.
aiming at a God of Thunder. Sweet baby Jesus.
No, well, I just thought that's why I didn't roll before then. And that's if I was playing this game today in my headspace, yeah, that's why I wouldn't have done that because I would have waited to level 8 because I've got that chance of hitting. Because if I hit a God of Thunder, I mean, I think in my mind that's like I've won.
Mm-hmm. So you're not running Divinity for one. So God of Thunder is not nearly as a God of Thunder into 6 mages is not the same as a God of Thunder into Divinity, right? So that's one thing I want to say. Another thing I want to say is like you let's go revisit our talk. So we did scouting and we looked at the teams and we said basically there's only like 2 teams that were potentially a threat to you, right? In the long term, right? Then you went on
Yep.
a lose streak. And this actually I'm very happy this happened because back then what was I saying you should have been doing? Or what did I
I
think
should
the
have
right
been
play was?
rolling.
Rolling,
I should
okay?
have been rolling to improve the quality. Yeah.
Exactly, right? Rolling to improve quality. And this is a huge difference between queen and king players is queens roll for tempo at that point, right? So if you would have been and here's the crazy thing that happened, in your next shops you were literally just hitting everything, right? You got Shining Dragon, you got Flame Wizard, you got your right, you kept like hitting these things you needed. So if you would have been re-rolling those times, you were at the time I think you were at 54 health. So you've cost yourself about more than half your health pool, right? Now you're all the way. Now you're in 26. Now you're in the red zone. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm just pointing this out for food for thought for you in the future. Like experiment. I want you to start experimenting. Like if I was going to give you homework, it would be when you hit level 17. I want you to reroll every game down to 30, no matter where you're at. Cool. So just try that. See what it does for your tempo of your team comps. Is that homework clear?
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. Okay. And then you can let me know next stream how it goes for you. But yeah, that kind of became your issue because your synergy was amazing. You were from the scout. We know your team comp is in a great position, right? So your only reason you're losing is because your quality's not there, and your quality's not there because you're honestly being too greedy. Yeah. And by the way, I'd like to point out this Venom's still sitting on your bench. Right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, 9 gold, it's still there.
9
I think he's
gold.
about to go on the field.
Exactly. 9 gold. For how many rounds did you have 9 gold sitting there?
Yeah, it was a few.
Yeah. And think about it this way. That's 1 interest, right? We're talking about 1 interest every round for as long as he was sitting there. Or 1 gold in interest. Sorry, that's what I'm trying to say. Okay, rolling. Okay, no, okay. Now, see, this, you're re-rolling there. That's what I wish you would have been doing before. Yeah. And, okay. Man, you love that whisk.
So
Here.
yeah, I shouldn't have had and I think maybe one of the reasons I wasn't rolling was because I had got a Thunder in my head.
Yeah. And by the way, another thing I will say to you is you could have sold the Whistseer and the Shining and you would have had your 40 gold again. Wow, you hit your God of Thunder. Man, you're very lucky. You have some amazing luck, man. That's...
Yeah, no, this is one of those games where
like
I got very lucky, but I know I didn't play well. Like I don't think I played this game well at all. but
I'm
I
very
do know I got lucky.
Yeah, I'm very glad this happened, because for everybody watching, this is the thing, is people play, remember, this is a game of chance. It's a game where RNG will always be a thing, right? So what makes the top level, like the top person on the server versus a top 1,000 player, is they play to the statistical chances, right? 60% of the time they should win their play. That 40% they'll still lose, but 60% they should win. And now here at a Massacre, the point I'm trying to make to you is, you at level 8, what is your percent chance of hitting a legendary?
I think I know this one. I'll lock in 1%.
1%. Okay, 1% to hit a legendary. How many legendaries are there in the game?
I'm not sure, like 5. I'm not 100%.
How could you figure out?
We've got Devastator, Helicopter, God of Thunder, Rogue Guard. Not sure who I'm missing.
Tsunami,
Oh yeah,
Ghost Prophet, Dark
oh yeah,
Spirit.
yeah. But barely anyone plays Ghost Prophet. But I should
No, it doesn't matter.
Dark Spirit.
It does, because why are we talking right now? We're talking because we want to calculate your odds, right? Dark Spirit, and I think that's it. I think it's 7 because they move Blight Sorcerer. Okay, so you have a 1% chance to hit one of 7 legendaries, right? So then you take that 1% chance, you divide it by 7. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so you have, on the high side, you have a 0.2% chance of hitting your God of Thunder. So all the decisions you made for the last 5 rounds were based on a 0.2% chance. How many times would you have to reroll to hit your God of Thunder, the expectation of hitting your God of Thunder?
Yeah, like a lot.
I did do the math. 0.2.
0.2.
Okay, 0.2. So if it's a 1%, you have to roll 100 times. Can we agree to that? Or sorry, not 100 times, because you have five shop slots, right? So 20 times you have to reroll. 100 slot shops is a 1% chance. And that's not exactly true, but you got the point. Like, it's close enough to true. So does that make sense? And then it's a 0.2% chance. So 500 shop slots, aka 100 rerolls you need for you to hit your God of Thunder. Statistically. Right?
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it's optimal play at all.
But I'm so glad this came up, because I see people do this all the time. This is why, like, new players and lower ranks don't understand why Goblin Gamble is called Goblin Gamble. Like, why it's such a gamble. Why it's so rare, right? Is your probability of hitting that unit is horrible. Like, it's so low. It's so low, right? Like, so normally, even when people try to target legendaries, what you normally do is you go to level 9. Because level 9, you have a 3% chance to hit a legendary instead of a 1% chance, right? So you tripled your odds. But even when you're 9, like, anybody, you've seen me on stream, my terrible RNG, right? Like, you've seen times I could just not hit anything. And we're talking about things I have 20% chance to hit, right? So I know I'm harping on this. I'm going to, final sentence, and I'll leave you alone and not beat you up over this. Please make your decisions based on things that are statistically likely to happen, not on things that are like getting struck by lightning. You get it?
Yeah.
That's a hidden joke too. I know, I'm proud of myself. Okay, anyways, keep going. But yeah, so anyways, that's that. And then now I'm curious to see what you're going to take out.
If everyone plays the statistics like that, though, like,
yeah,
you try Glacier like you did today, and you don't hit your Light Blade, and you don't hit your Hell Knight.
I'm very happy you brought this up, because and that's and that's what I was trying to get at, right? I said a very top player, they play the probability, so 60% of the time they're expected to win. And I'm totally making up these numbers, so just go with me, right? 60% of the time they're expected to win. 40% of the time they're not expected to win. So what's that mean? It means 40% of the time things blow up in their face. Like today, the Glacier game, right? It blew up in my face. You see what I'm saying? But remember, a couple days ago, I posted a Glacier game, and I did exact same thing. Exact same decision making, all that stuff, and ended up first place, right? And from my experience, if we go scroll through my combat history, me winning top 3 or first place is much more common than what happened to me today. Do you get what I'm saying? That is what we mean by statistically the right play. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it works out more often than not.
Exactly. Yeah. But what about your play right here? If you duplicate,
it's probably not going to work out most of the time.
So probably not going to work out. If you played this exact same thing 100 times, you would be lucky if 20 of those games you hit your God of Thunder. You would be super lucky. Like, go buy a lottery ticket. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I gotcha.
Okay, cool. Good. And I'll leave. And I'm beating you up out of love, by the way. I hope you know that. Okay.
No. It's all good. It's all good in the hood.
Yeah, right. Tomorrow's stream, you're gonna be eye grinning on me. Okay, so and positioning, nice. You did the Venom break off. That's fine. Yeah, okay. And yep, the God of Thunder. You take out the flame. That's fine. I would have liked you to look at your DPS meter to see who was leading you.
No, I think I did do that. I think you just missed
it. You did? Okay, I missed it. Okay, that's good then.
That's
what
made me take out flame.
Also, I would honestly probably be selling my Tortola and getting the mana items on my God of Thunder, to be honest. Because they're both 1-star, you don't even have a pair of Tortola. And yeah, having your God of Thunder at this point with a possible Orber refresh is like game. So just a thought. That one I could debate myself. Wait, what? You just sold your... Wait, what? Uh-oh. Yeah. Oh, okay. Wait. Oh, okay. That's an interesting play.
I don't like that unit. I don't feel like it adds a whole lot.
Okay. Okay, wait.
Like,
let me.
I feel like that's just there for synergy.
Okay. I would tend to agree with you. It's not the strongest unit. I agree. It's more for... What team comps are you holding this Venom for?
Just Dragon Mage.
Oh, so you're not using it to counter the marksman? Okay. I see. I was trying to give you more credit. I was like, okay, you're countering the marksman. That's more understandable.
I mean, like, but the positioning like that is, countering, so...
This is a very... Okay. I'm trying to think of... I think I'm going to end up just saying the stuff we've been saying, so maybe I'll just leave it. But once again, you used all your economy to get... to rearrange your synergies, and I just don't know how much value you got out of it. Okay, so this is my thing. If I feel you on getting rid of Winter and keeping Venom, that part I can understand that, right? But now you just used all your economy left to level, right? And now you're stuck with so many 1-stars, right? All your carries are 1-star. 1-star Dragon Knight, 1-star God of Thunder, 1-star Thunder Spirit, 1-star Tortola, 1-star Flame Wizard. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And by the way, look at that stupid Wizir. That's exactly what I mean, man. You're like, I bet you keep this till you're almost out of the game. And right now, by the way, you're 8 out of 10 gold. Okay, but anyways, and you have 3 pairs. So what do you think's a stronger team? 8 and your your Thunder Spirit Flame Wizard are 2 stars, your Tortola, your Dragon Knight, or going to 9 and then having your Venom in?
What the first option?
Right, like, and even say you only hit 2. Like, let's just say you got the Flame Wizard and the Thunder Spirit, right? Level 8 with a 2-star Thunder Spirit Flame Wizard, or level 9 with your 2-star Venom, which is stronger?
Level 8.
Yeah, level 8, right? Because Mage's win condition is killing off of their alts, right? Their one wave of alts. And yeah, your leveling and your re-rolling strategy is not facilitating that win condition. I guess that's just what we'll leave it at. But anyways, so it's going good.
Oh, but that's why we do this.
Yeah.
That's why we're doing the review.
Yep, exactly. Oh, and by the way, like that's why I mean the reviews sound like this
Ooh,
because we're
I
obviously.
sold the wisp. So.
Oh, okay. Good job. Nice. Good. 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 And Tortola, nice. Oh, and see, now you're the YOLO rolling. And see, when every time you roll, you're so lucky too. I mean, man, if you would have just used this lucky rolls early, oh my gosh, you would have been stomping on fools. But going.
Yeah, it doesn't normally go this way. Like I know I won this out of luck.
Yeah, I will highly agree with you, to be honest. When you originally told me that, I wanted to disagree with you, but at the end of the day, I am a very honest squirrel. By the way, your source, I don't know, you always protect your source, which is slowly driving me insane. Do you get what I mean by protecting her? Like, you have a 1-star flame wizard on the corner instead of your source.
Oh yeah.
Is that me? Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the choice. Oh god, no! Put it on your thumb. Please tell me you put that on. Where did you put that? Did you combine? No, don't
no,
do
I
it.
didn't. I didn't combine,
Don't
but
do
I
it.
put it on him.
Just put that on your God of Thunder. Yeah, there we go. Nice, good job, good job. Okay, good.
Oh, I
I'm
did
happy.
do it.
Yeah,
Hey.
good. You did do it. Good job. See, see, see. You get credit. You get credit when it's due. There you go. And going, and okay, cool. So that's going good. You should watch first place. Normally, try to watch when you're fighting other people, especially key people like you were fighting first place there. I would definitely go watch those in the future. You can see what the end result is, but kind of watching it to see positioning and stuff can be very helpful. So just, using that extra focus you have. Oh, nice. Good items. Nope. Okay, why? Why?
Because his damage is based off, his attacks.
Okay.
So,
If
slightly
we...
more attack speed.
Okay.
But he's...
So how much attack speed did
like,
you just speed him up by?
Yeah, I would have to click on the item. I'm not 100%.
You 0.1. He went from 0.2 to 0.1 attack speed. Or it went from 0.2 to 0.11. So you saved 0.1 attack speed. Yeah? And it gives you, I think, 5 damage.
Yeah.
So
where would you have put it?
I want you to answer this for me. Where do you think you should put it? There's 2 options I can accept in my soul that won't. So you have a pretty high chance.
God of Thunder. But it's all based off attack speed for me. That's the main thing.
What's based off attack speed?
Like just with that item, like it's not an ideal item for a mage comp anyway.
Why? What's the win condition for a mage? Well, okay, actually, let's put this another way. When 2 mage teams fight each other, who wins?
Whoever gets their burst off first.
Yeah, whoever ults first. So if my God of Thunder attacks 0.2 seconds faster than your God of Thunder, whose is going to ult first?
Yeah, okay.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, the one with the increased attack speed.
Yeah, increased attack. Dude, okay, I don't know where this fallacy came. Attack speed is extremely efficient on mages. And one of the other reasons is because mages have the slowest attack speed. So it's just like armor. Are you better on putting armor on a high health unit or a low health unit?
I normally put it on a high health unit.
And why?
Just to make them last longer.
Yeah. And to be more technical because you get more benefit out of it. Yeah, it's more efficient.
Yeah, you get more benefit out of it.
Right? So your Dragon Knight, you got 0.1 attack speed out of it, and he does 60 damage. And then when he transforms, right? Okay, so cool. Throughout the fight, you maybe just gave yourself, I don't know. Well, let's be really generous and say you gave 600 extra damage in the match by putting the item, right? And that's being extremely generous. But is that 600 damage significant in terms of, like we talked about, right? Your Tortola getting that huge ult and then killing half the enemy team.
Yeah, and especially because of the way you play mages, it's more about getting the burst off.
Yeah. And I think the example I like to use is it takes, actually, let's test, knowledge test. How much mana is your Tortola Elder generating per auto attack?
Is it like 20?
Okay, walk me through the calculation.
Like, is this well? Look, math is not my strong point.
It's okay. It's okay.
Is this including the crystals or?
Yeah, just start me. Okay, he has 2 mana items. I'll tell you that. We can. So he has 200% mana regen. Tell me the formula. How much does he generate?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Okay, so basic attacks 10. The maximum you can generate off of one basic attack is 10 mana. Okay, but he is a mage. Mages double dip, meaning he gets 20 mana per auto attack. Okay, you following me?
Yep.
And then you gave him 1 mana crystal turns 100%, but you gave him 2 mana crystals, right?
Yep.
So for each mana crystal, he gets another 20. So basic attack is 20, then 1 mana crystal 40, 2 mana crystals 60. Yeah?
Yep.
Okay, so, and he needs, how many auto attacks does he need then to cast his ultimate?
2.
2, right? Okay, so his attack speed is, I think, 1.5 after the last change, right?
Yeah,
I think.
I'm
Okay,
not sure.
yeah,
But yeah,
I'm pretty sure. Okay, so 1.5. So how quickly into a match will he ultimate is the expectation?
Well, at the moment, I mean, yeah, with 2 basic attacks, pretty quick.
Exact.
But
3
it would
seconds.
be quicker. It would be quicker with, increased attack
1.5.
speed.
1.5. 3 seconds. Got it? And he might have to reposition. It depends where the enemies are positioned. But about he only needs 2 auto attacks. Those auto attacks will only take him 3 seconds to cast, right? And then so if you give it to your Tortola Elder, and I think when you put the rod on, it drops I think it only drops it to 1.4. Because he used to be 1.7, so attack speed was even more efficient on him. But anyways, so the 1.5 I think turns into 1.4. So instead of 3 seconds, he will cast his ultimate at 2.8 seconds, right? But the God of Thunder, here becomes the thing, is God of Thunder is actually the technical, what I would say is the best answer. And the reason for it is this. Because he's only 1 star, he's not generating the maximum mana per auto attack. Because to get the 10 mana, you have to do 50 damage. Okay? And your God of Thunder, I don't know his base attack. I want to say his base attack's probably like 50-ish, something like that. So after the enemy's armor, he's not going to do 50 damage, so he's not going to generate 10 mana. Make sense?
Yep.
And then if you give him the rod, you've now upped his damage, right? So now he's going to be generating more mana per auto attack. Also, you've increased his attack speed, so he's going to generate mana quicker. Make sense? So he's super getting benefit out of it, is the moral of the story. So I would say God of Thunder best, and then Tortola second best.
All right, gotcha.
Okay, and by the way, I very feel the need to say this because I know this sounds harsh on you. If you were a rook, or if you were like, not really trying to push into queen, I wouldn't be this thorough with you. But like, these are the things that are going to separate you from a queen player. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and like next season, that's what I want to push for. I want to try and get into queen.
Exactly. So if you were like, "Hey, Chaos, I'm happy being King 1," then I mean, I wouldn't be like on you about these things. But anyways, here we go. And oh, by the way, this is that hunter who you were thinking you might lose against.
Oh, yep.
Yeah. That you were stomping on, and they were first place and on a huge win streak. That's another thing I want to point out. Like, that hunter that you just beat was on a huge win streak. I think they were on a 2 gold win streak, and until you beat them the last round from their point of view. So like, that's how much you stomp on them. You get what I'm saying? And you're not even positioned optimally. Like, you're positioned same side as them. So honestly, you even could stomp them even harder if you were cross spawn. Like here. Well, this guy's like that weird like knight hunter mixture. But anyways. Bum ba bum ba bum ba bum. Nice. Woo. And by the way, this is why I thought you were keeping the Venom for the marksman, because he has been doing good for you, by the way. Your Venom, to give you props.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
just to get on the carries. And then what I've done there is I've scouted to see where he was.
Yeah. Nice. And by the way, I wanted to pause here because do you remember the teams that we thought had potential of giving you issue?
Knight Player and the Hunters.
Yeah. And who are left?
Yep, those two.
Right? So that's why those early scouts matter so much. That's why that's what you need to be looking for. This game, you lucked into the answer, but as you move more and more up the ranks, it's like understanding those type of things. Like you've heard me say, like, I'm fighting for third place, right? And then there's games, oh, I'm going to get first place. Like it's first place is mine to lose, as an example. So that's why I try to say those things, is because understanding what your expectation for yourself can help you play optimally, I guess, is the easiest way for me to put it. Does that make sense, or am I being very confusing?
No, it makes sense.
Okay,
and like
cool.
in this, like I pretty much once I sort of, once I hit that 6th mage, I was sort of like, oh, I should come first.
Yeah, good.
And that's what I was playing for.
Yeah. Good. Okay, here you go. Here's you cross spawn now from the hunter, and like we said, right? What happens cross spawn?
Just
you horribly destroy him.
Just dominate him.
Yes,
just dominate him.
Right. So and here's another thing. Like, this is how you learn those things. So teaching you to fish is right. Like, try to pay attention when you fight, when you're not sure. So like you said, Chaos, I'm unconfident about mages, right? And really when you're unconfident, it just means that you don't have experience on playing mages, right?
Yeah, exactly. And
okay.
Yeah, I don't normally play them.
Yeah, so how do you develop that confidence is anytime there's a blank, if you're like, I don't know if I beat hunters, then when you play it, pay attention. Every time you fight a hunter, pay attention. Oh, I'm same side. This is how the fight goes. Oh, I'm cross spawns. Oh, this is how it goes, right? That's how you learn those things. So I just want to point that out to you because I know you're being unconfident, but at the same time, if you just review your own gameplay, you could have learned a lot just from that. Like, been like, yep, I definitely beat mages. Yes, cross spawn is best.
Yeah, but see, like, reviewing my play, I wouldn't have.
And this repositioning again, you don't need to reposition like this. Okay, keep going. Well,
yeah, like, I wouldn't have picked up on, I should have been rolling heavier earlier on.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm someone that always sort of thought, like, I did play to tempo.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, obviously in this game, I didn't do that.
You play to tempo in very untraditional ways. Like, there are multiple times you rolled down and leveled in this game that are definitely not what people would normally. By the way, this source, your is. Well, I guess you scout. I don't know. Okay, I don't know. Okay, anyways, whatever.
Yeah, I think we may have missed that. I was scouting.
By the way, I would just like to take the time to point out that this is exactly why you don't reposition for the stupid minions if you're going to beat them anyways. Because now it's like you just had to reposition twice. You get what I'm saying? Like, you could have been on the minions. You could have just left it sitting on the enemy screen, watched him, right? If he stayed the same place, you just left your team. If you saw him start to switch, you just scroll back over and switch. Instead, after the minions, you had to reposition back where you originally came from. Then you had to scout to see if he switched. Then you realized he switched. Then you had to switch. Do you get the...
Oh, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like
I see the issue.
Okay,
yeah,
cool. That's just a good chance for me to drive that point home. Oh, and as far as your tempo, so anyways, yeah, you do tempo, but you did it interesting in that every time you tempoed to level, not to. So a lot of people that they tempo to reroll. You tempo to level. You see the difference?
I always and the reason I do that is because I always feel like leveling is the safe play.
Yeah, because what you're doing is you're waiting for a piece. So every time you leveled in this game, it was because you got the shop gifted you a certain piece, and then you're like, oh, I want to use this, and then you leveled, and then you used it. So you are playing for the sure thing. I will say that, right? You go for the sure thing, and honestly, I don't play that way that much. I don't know. Maybe I should try it out, and I'll see how it goes. But so I will say you do play to tempo. You just don't play to tempo the same way as me. And personally, I think tempoing the way I play is probably more consistent because you're still, quite honestly, playing players who do not even know the optimal builds. And that is going to change how your tempo works. And the reason I say that is because when you're playing people who don't play optimal builds, it's like when you've been seeing me smurf on NA, right? Is coming back in the games is super easy because people don't punish you. Like, even if you have a weak team, you can still be on a win streak or you're not losing that much health. Does that make sense? But as you get better, the people are like building optimally. Their synergies are like optimal. They are tempo. They're rolling to get upgrades on their core units, right? And then if you lose streak, you're losing huge health. Like in this game, if you were in a queen lobby, you probably would have lost before you ever even got into a lot of these things. Because just that first time when you were level 7 and you decided to grab the 2-star Venom and then just kind of like not level and not reroll, like you would have taken huge health hits from that. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, I would have been punished more.
Yeah,
In a higher
and then
level.
also let's say that Glacier Knight built optimally, right? And let's say he rerolled and he tempoed the way that he should have. You see what I'm saying? Then you wouldn't have been beating him, and then he's crushing you for huge chunks of health. And you matched up against him a couple times, right? So, your tempo is working, but I'm not sure it's optimal. And when I say I'm not sure, I really genuinely mean I'm not sure, because I'd have to test your style of tempo out myself, to be honest. But I don't know. Waiting for the shop to give you heroes is something that is... I just don't feel like it's the optimal play. But I'm going to try it. Honestly,
Well,
you've given me something to try too. So
it's not something that's going to happen all of the time. Like, yeah. I think it's that, like, not rolling and just seeing what the shop offers me, and then just sort of like, obviously tempo for level. But like, I guess that's just because, like, before I actually started watching you, I was watching a different YouTuber, and I think that sort of is where my play style comes from.
Yeah.
And the way he plays is that very build your economy, play it safe. Most of your end builds are going to be at level 8, and when you need those higher cost units, focus on getting to level 8 and then roll. And then, but if you're snowballing, if you're playing rock, if you're snowballing, then then do spend the. And I think that's sort of how I play.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it makes sense. Like I said, I mean, it's definitely a different school of thinking, and I don't know. I'd have to try that style out more to give better feedback, but I think you'll probably be more consistent if you tempo reroll, tempo through reroll instead of leveling. Yeah, but I'll try your way. We'll see. Maybe I'll go on a huge win streak. We'll see, and I'll let you know. But yeah, I think that's basically it for these. Any other things that came up? Any you want to discuss out of this game? And I mean, you should just take this game away unless something insane happens, I would assume. I don't see how he can possibly catch up to you at this point. Dun. But let's see. Positioning. Good. You're okay. Yeah, it's okay. Your position works well. You got them all on the diagonal. That's what I was going to say, but you already did it, so that's good. So yeah, you just went out.
And I don't think he changes his position from here.
Yeah, and then you can just sit in it, so that's good. And see, this is what you could do on the minion rounds. That's what I would have loved to see you do. Just sit there and just watch them. Watch up. He reposition. I'll reposition. And good. But yeah, I think that is basically it. And you're saving your economy. Like in this place, it's good too. Because if you have issue with them, you can use your economy to adjust, go to level, or you could re-roll for your God of Thunder, that type of stuff. So, I
actually think I throw the Dark Spirit in.
Yeah, you go to 10 and put it in. Yep, that's fine.
Because the game was over
Yeah,
anyway,
the game was over, yeah. He I don't think he can catch up unless he hits some insane 3-star, but he's not even close, so... so closing remarks. I would say for you, the main takeaways would be branch. So even once you choose your main synergy, think of the different branches that you can take that synergy to.
Yeah, which is something I can do on warriors because I play a lot of them and I just know my options. But yeah, that's something I'm definitely going to look into is just what I can play in mages.
Yep. So, and the main branches, so when I talk about branches, the tree are the main synergies. So feather, warrior, mage, assassin, and knight. There we go. Right. So those are what I would consider the trees. And then you want to learn how to branch all those trees into right different ways. And like you said, you're probably comfortable with warriors. I bet that's why you're most consistent with warriors, is because you're comfortable branching off of the warrior tree. Right?
Yeah, because I've got a it's more versatile for me because I know how to play them.
Yeah. And yeah, so branching is one. I would say try the tempo ways that I'm telling you. So reroll. That was the other homework.
Tempo rolling.
So yeah, tempo rolling. So round 17, hit level 7, and then as soon as you hit level 7, reroll down to 30 gold. Okay? And then save your gold. Starting round 18, start to save your gold back up until round 21. Then you level to 8, and then you reroll down again. Right? And that will be just kind of show you the benefits of it. I'm not saying do that every single for you do it every single game for like 10 games, and just you'll see how it changes what you get and what you don't get. So that's my best advice. And yeah, and I'll try out.
If I'm
keep going.
Yeah, if I'm rolling down to 30 gold,
mm-hmm.
Am I going to make level 7 and level 8 at the right, like like hitting level 8 at 21?
Yeah, how much gold does it cost you at level 21 or round 21?
Is it 24? I'm not sure.
Bum, bum, bum. You know, Massacre.
32.
Massacre, you know.
24. Nah. Mate, okay, I rely on the screen.
Okay.
I've always got it all in front of me.
Okay, so here's round 15, right? So level 7 is you need 24, right? So level 8.
Yeah.
Where is level 8? Well, see, I can't really show you in this game because I think your tempo is different. But anyways, you need... Moral of the story is you need 24 experience, right? So how much gold do you normally need? How much gold?
40.
What?
35. Sorry, one sec. You've got me. Oh. Sorry, 35.
Huh? What?
Look, you got me all flustered, mate. I don't know now.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm being too harsh to you. Okay, so you need 24 experience, okay? But here's the thing. You level at round 17, okay? And then you don't level again until 21. So you're going to have accumulated 4 experience. Agree?
Yeah, just by naturally playing.
Yes, by naturally playing, you'll have acquired 1 experience per round for 4 rounds, right? So you would go round 18, 1, 19, 20, 21. So that's 4 experience, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. So, and you need 24. If you look at the screen right now, you need 24 to go from level 7 to 28, right? Or level 7 to level 8. Oh my god. Right? Or as I would...
Yeah, I'm following.
Okay, cool. So that means you need to purchase 20 experience. Following?
Yeah.
Okay, now how much does 20 experience cost?
You're making me look like a right idiot. I'm not normally this dumb.
Okay. Sorry.
20 experience and sorry, it's 4 experience is 5 gold.
Yes, yeah? Exactly. Yep. So 20 divided by 4 is 5. Yeah.
25.
And then exactly 5 times 5, so 25 gold. Cool. So if you re-roll down to 30 gold, then no matter what, you have enough to level to 8, as long as you don't go below that, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, gotcha.
And then really, if you start to save gold at round 18, you'll be back all the way into 50 before you spend gold to level at 21. So then what that does, if you start to save gold at round 18, is when you re-roll at 21, you'll still have 30 gold, and then you can keep re-rolling there at 30 gold. Make sense?
Yeah, gotcha.
And then how much does level 9 cost you? I'm showing you on the screen, by the way. Costs you 32 experience, okay?
Yep.
And if you wait till round 26, which is kind of the tempo, right? You'll get round 22, round 23, round 24, round 25, round 26. So you'll have got 5 experience, right?
Yeah. So like 35.
There you go. See, you got it. Your math is on point. There you go. 35 gold.
Yeah, yeah.
So same thing.
Yeah,
If
but
you stay at 30, you can actually just stay at 30 all the way to round 25, save gold that one time, and then bam, you can even level to 9. That's why 30 is kind of a magic number.
yeah, and I think I'm noticing that more in my games now as well. Like people I'm playing against,
Mm-hmm.
like they're rolling, they're hitting higher quality units than I am,
Yep.
and they're still making it to level 8. As where I'm going to level 8 with gold in the bank, but I've already lost a lot of health.
Mm-hmm. And you're going to gold when it's less valuable. Because let's be honest, if you felt it in our goblin game today, right? If you had 1,000 gold, it was no use to you when there's no devastators left in the pool. You get the point?
Yeah, spending your gold with a higher chance of when there's more units in the pool.
Yeah, like your favorite guy, right? Bobby. Bobby spent his gold for like 10 rounds. He spent his gold at level 9, optimizing his chance, right? And just kept trying and trying. And then that whole time you're like sitting on your economy. And then, yeah, of course he's going to hit it, right? He first went to level, and then he started just re-rolling while you were like trying to be really stingy with your gold. You get what I'm saying? So, and then by the time he hits it, he's been spending gold with like the maximum % chance of hitting a devastator. But by the time you started to finally re-roll for a devastator, your economy's crushed. Or not, sorry, your economy's not crushed. The heroes are just all out of the pool. So it's like that becomes that was a major lesson learned for me, to be honest. That was holding me back for a long time because I was being too greedy with economy.
I think that's because like when you're a newer player though, that's what everyone sort of starts with is like build, learn economy. And then like later in the game, like I mean you still learn economy, but like later in the game you sort of like what you're saying to me is you have to start using your gold at more efficient times.
Yeah, because as you move up the ladder, you're getting more and more skilled players, right? And what having more skilled player means is everybody's going for optimal builds, right? You're not going to go into a game and be the only person who wants dragon mages, right? So then you're contested. Everybody knows how to economy. Like you think the other top players, they don't know how to build an economy, right? They don't know how to win streak. They don't know how to build a team. You get what I'm saying? So like your advantages start to come from different areas. The things that determine if you win or lose come from different areas, right? The best example I can give you is if you see like when I'm playing on NA and we look at my economy after the game, it's always insane, right? Like every game I have insane economy compared to the rest of the lobby. My economy is like 50 gold ahead of second place, right? And that's because it's just there's a lot of things that allow me to build an economy very easily because lower ranked players don't do things that punish me. Like they're not building optimal team comps, they're early game, they're not re-rolling to power up, they're not, right? There's just all these little things that they do that make it easy for me to save gold. So I think that's why it happens. And this is answering your question is, so your question is essentially, or not your question, but what you're pointing out is, I learned to save economy and that's what was successful for me. That's what let me get to King 1, right?
Exactly.
And that's why I'm pointing this out is, yes, that is what gets most players to King 1, but the problem becomes once all the players are at King 1, all of you understand that, right? Everybody's got there based on that economic understanding. So now the advantages, the thing that makes you consistent is actually learning how to use that economy, when and how to use the economy, right? So then it comes to who's re-rolling first. If me and you are competing for pieces and I re-roll first, right, then I'm spending my money at its optimal point. Whereas if you decide to re-roll after I've already got all the pieces I need, right, then you're spending less efficient money. And you have to ask yourself this. If you, let's say at round 17, okay? So I re-roll down to 30 gold. You stay at 50 gold. Okay? You following me so far?
Yep.
Okay, so how many rounds? So I'll be back to fit, and say as soon as I re-roll to 30, I start to save gold from there, right? How much of a gold difference have I cost myself between you and me?
So, sorry, round 17, you're on 30 gold.
Yep.
Is that right?
I re-rolled down, or I rolled down to 30 gold. You stayed at 50. Okay.
Yep.
So how large is our gold disparity going to be if I
So you're still making three interest.
Yep, I'm making 3.
And I'm making 5. So so 2 gold difference each round.
Okay, but how long is it going to take me to get back to 40?
Sorry, did you say back to 40?
Yeah, back to 40 because I start to save, right? I roll down,
two rounds.
but then I start to save back up, right?
Yeah, so it takes 2 rounds.
Yeah, maybe 2 rounds. Depends if I'm win streaking, right? So I'll be getting 8 gold. You'll be getting 10 gold. So I'll be at 38. Then the next round I'll be at 46. And then the next round I'll be at 55. Right?
Yeah, I've got you. So really, being the difference between 30 and 50 gold isn't actually that much.
Yeah, you're talking about, let's be really pessimistic and say I'm giving up 5 gold over the course of 4 rounds. And really, it's not that much. Really, it's probably more like 3 gold.
And you're giving yourself a better chance at
And now what did I hit with 20 gold, right? With that 20 gold, I hit my 2-star Thunder Spirit, my 2-star Flaming Wizard, my 2-star Tortola, right? And now, do you think and let's say, once again, we'll be really nice, you beat me by 5 gold. That's how many rerolls?
Yeah.
Right? 2.
Yeah, it's
2.5.
making sense. Yeah.
You think you got value out of 2.5 rerolls? Like, after I just emptied the hero pool, believe me, your 2.5 rerolls are not going to do anything for you. But I think that's kind of what the theory comes down to. And
I don't think that information is really. I don't think anyone's really broken it down like that. I've never actually heard anyone explain it to me like that before.
Okay, I'm going to be honest here, and I'm probably going to get myself in trouble. There's, oh God, I shouldn't say this, but, okay, I'm going to say this, but I might end up offending people. But I'm an honest guy.
Names.
This is the truth, right? So you see people all the time say some people are more informative than other people, right? And there's 2 reasons. One is some people are better communicators, right? But another reason, and I think people don't consider this, is if I have a winning formula, do I want to share it necessarily?
Yeah.
Right?
Not really, no.
So
no, not because.
Keep going.
Yeah, because you don't want to create more competition with sharing information, valuable information.
And I'll give you a really good example. And I mean, I'm somebody I obviously share. I don't really do that. I try to share as much as I can in the best way. But if you look at the top players, and especially if a pro scene opens up, do you think they really want to share their strategies and the way that they look at the game with everybody?
No, they won't.
Right? And I think